Here, is everybody awake? No. Somebody says no. Hi, okay. Everybody awake? All right. So, our next pitcher is one of the awardees for this year. Please help me welcome Tina Bailon Lindres. She is the CEO of the Green Apron. That's right. And she will be presenting her project, Women in Barong. Please, everyone.
So 1 week ago, I had two separate conversations. One Filipina woman, she was an engineer in the Philippines. She took a student loan in Canada to get her credentials assessed, and she studied for 3 years. And then that day, she lost her job, just like that. On the same day, I spoke to this Iranian real estate mogul in our community. And she was telling me about how she lost $3.5 million during COVID. And I was telling her how I lost about half of that in the same year. And the woman who was fired from her job was so scared, was so insecure of what's to come. This lady who lost $3.5 million, and myself included, we were in pain. We were heartbroken. But we were not scared about what the future holds for us. So coming to this summit and presenting my pitch, this just cemented my belief that one's entrepreneurial pursuit is one of the highest form of freedom, especially for Filipina immigrants in another country. So women in Barong, when I turned 50 last year, I published the book Women in Talks that was a collaboration of 50 women from across the world who have influenced me. And I launched that during my 50th birthday in Banff Springs, Alberta. And it was the most beautiful gathering of women I've ever seen. Not because I hosted it. It's because women who had breast cancer, who had lung cancer, who gave birth at a refugee camp in Africa, went up on stage to tell their stories. And the women who were there, we were shedding tears for each other. But it was most comforting because I realized that when you're in a room full of women, you're in your most safest place. And that's why Women in Barong. There are a lot of male-driven entrepreneurial projects, maybe even better than my pitch. But one thing that lacks is the sense of safety and comfort that a woman feels when it's a woman leader that leads that organization. So, sorry, I got excited. Okay, so my objective is to transform Filipino women immigrants into successful entrepreneurs and community leaders. Next. So here are the social problems, the challenges that Filipina immigrants, particularly in Winnipeg, face. Economic independence barriers related to caregiving issues. They cannot leave their house because they have children to take care of. They don't have access to fundings. They have problems with English proficiency. They don't know interprovincial policies. And most of all, I find Canada has the most cruel foreign credential assessment in the world. You see, in Canada, you're a nurse. In the UK or wherever, you have to come back and probably study 3 more years to become a nurse in Canada when we have the same body wherever we go. So those are very, very tough challenges. Another tough challenge in the Filipino community in Winnipeg is our winter. We get to negative 45 degrees. Yes, yes, yes. So women are isolated physically and socially. Like if they don't drive, they can't go out even to buy groceries. So these are the challenges that I hope that this project would address one way or the other. Next slide. So symbolism, Barong Tagalog is always a symbol of empowerment. I grew up with my dad was a judge, and when he wears his barong, you know his back stiffens with pride and regality. And that's the same thing that I envision women who will be part of my project, that posture of confidence and strength. So, wow. Okay, go. Next. Okay. So, there would be entrepreneurship project, but one thing that I would like to do is focus on e-commerce since I wanted to amplify the messaging earlier about technology and AI. Next. Target 10 to 15 Filipina women annually in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Next. So never mind this. Next. Next. So financial viability, the funding would come from a nonprofit registration that I'm going to form from my company to funnel our charitable work towards this organization. Next. Next. Okay. So my call to action is, who do you know in Winnipeg, Manitoba, who could probably join my project as a candidate or probably join me to sponsor. And another call to action that I have is I wanted to focus on e-commerce. And so if you have a product, if you in the Philippines, I know some of you are entrepreneurs that you wanted to bring to Canada through this project, I would be more than willing to welcome a conversation with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, you rushed through the end there. You didn't need to. Okay, you had like a minute and a half left. But do we have any? Yeah. Yeah, you did. Okay, so do we have any questions for Tina? Any comments? Any questions? No? Did you get sleepy suddenly? Hey, wake up. Yes. Oops, sorry.
Hi, Tina. Can you talk a little bit about your own entrepreneurial experience and your background as to why you're inspired? I know you're inspired to empower women, but in terms of a little bit more about how you got your own expertise in entrepreneurship.
So I'm a direct sales expert. So I own one of the largest salad master dealership in the world. So we have about 16, 17 locations in Canada and USA. And the question, how did I lose so much money in COVID? Everybody knows that Salad Master is so expensive, right? And we go through a lending company in the US. And so they started defaulting in COVID, and the lending company made me personally accountable for their debts. No, it's not budol-budol, tita. What are we talking about? Yay, 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 yay. Thank you, thank you. Yes, Ita.
Oh, wait, my brain cells are not working. But what you're really asking is you would want to train uh, people or young women, young girls on the path to
Entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship and facing challenges and all
Correct.
that. So what is your ask?
My ask is, number one, if you have products in the Philippines, I know I just discovered there are clothing and all that that you would like to bring to Canada, we could network on that. If you want to open a franchise in Canada, then we can have a conversation, and the people, the women that I will train through the program will become beneficiaries of whatever products or services that you're able to bring to Winnipeg through the project.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tina.